Okay. So, I want to talk about this picture and how, trying to be logical, I made a logical flaw. So, all of this work, which, while it represents several days, but accumulatively of actually working, it represents maybe 3 hours, including breaks, and including the big breaks of going. Like, I spent an hour earlier today. Where is it? Where'd it go? Yeah, there it is. That guy right there. This shape. It looks a little confounding. What a strange shape. But yeah, just twisting with this for a few hours today. It's just a triangle with one cut and two folds. And as it so happens, this triangle is meant to represent a hemispheric triangle, not a tetrahedral triangle like this that I've talked about before. Also here. So this isn't a tetrahedral triangle, it's a hemispheric triangle, which probably doesn't even really exist. But and when it's split like that, it has a little bit of Millennium Falcon. But the whole idea with this is, if you have a globe, if you have a sphere with a hemispheric plane, if you put a triangle in that plane, such as this, and then if you twist it, so here you have your triangle, and then you twist the triangle, and for the angle that you twist it, you bring one side in this way, one side in this way. The whole idea now, this triangle I'm holding is bigger than the triangle I drew here, but the whole idea is that this triangle turns like this, but really it turns like this, so then you can't see it. But it goes from this to this, and for every degree that this goes, these flaps bend in opposite directions 2 degrees. That has to do with the way in which, because as you bend this, there's always like this angle bisector sticking out in 3 dimensions. So as you bend this, what you're really doing is bending this to the same degree that this rotates. It's just that you're bending it to the same degree in respect to the angle bisector of this 120 degree. So what is it? It's a 120, and then what's left? 60. So 120, 30, 30. So this 120, 30, 30 triangle is bending toward the bisector of this 120, 30, 30 triangle at the same degree that this 120, 30, 30 degree triangle turns. So there's an equivalency, but it's an equivalency that requires a bisector here and here. Anyway, while trying to, because what it basically is, it's a hemispheric, it's a triangle within the hemispheric plane of a sphere, and as this 120, 30, 30 triangle rotates, these triangles come down and they describe a shape with their points in a sphere that from one angle looks like this egg-shaped object. Happy Easter! But from atop looks different. And if you're holding it this way, basically it's a shape that as it moves in the way that I've described. Oh yeah, one more thing. Oh, like this. Zorro! It's a Z. Would make a cool monument. Yeah, that would make an awesome monument. This would have to be raised a little. But it's just this. A triangle. But anyway, from this side, it's like this, and the whole idea is that as you're looking down upon it, it spins like this, perfectly straight, and as it spins, these spread apart, and then eventually, so this point here is when it's up like this, and then this point here is when it's like this. So then, but then this up here, because I'm trying to do like an engineering drawing, but I screwed up. This whole thing's a mistake. It's all wrong. I can't use it. But I thought it was an important lesson of unusability and making mistakes. Because really, this whole page represents pretty much a day's worth of work between thinking and actually drawing. And what it relates to is back to this folder. It's also awesome that I found these dudes today, because I was looking for an entrance into Islam, and I found Shia 12er Islam. And it's like, I couldn't have made something that more specifically spoke to what I'm into deeply. I couldn't have invented something better. I couldn't have dreamed or wished for it. I think it's a small percentage, maybe like Shia 12ers are maybe like a few percent, maybe. A few percent created the United States of America. 3%. 3% of the population created the place where there's a lot of problems, a lot of hypocrisy, a lot of corruption, and so on. But the only place in the world that created the possibility of freedom in written law, and not the only one that created it in code. If you dispute that, I don't blame you, and I wouldn't even argue it. But when you see my work on the symbolism, you'll kind of get what I'm saying. Yeah, so this page was several hours, but it relates back to things that go back to 2014. Lots and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of work. And work. And work before I had appropriate numbers. Before I had appropriate numbers. And as it turns out, I still don't have appropriate numbers. Because I made this 48 circle. I made this 48 circle, but I made it in the circle whose radius was root 1, instead of making the 48 circle, because this is the root 1 radius, this is the root 3 over 2 radius. That's how I should have made this and split this up, but I didn't. So when I tried to transfer these things logically, it didn't work because I had my numbers wrong. To some people, it might look like, oh, there's a lot of lines and dots and squigglies there. This guy must know some shit. But as it turns out, I'm wrong. And this is incorrect. So there's nothing smart about it. And then to really smart people might be like, what a dumbass. This guy doesn't know shit. To which I'd say, I discovered a flaw through a mistake. That's the only thing I got going for me, is that I make mistakes over and 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 over again. And when I see one, I have the opportunity to correct it, which is what I'll have to do. So I'm going to have to throw this away. To my mind, it's all this, because it's 4 pieces of typing paper taped together. Which to me is a lot of work. Because I go to work, I come home, and I pretty much just want a beer and some supper. But also save the world. And do some geometry. That's my day. But anyway, it's still kind of interesting, and it still kind of looks cool. And the difference between when I get it right and this, visually, to me, wouldn't be much. The next drawing I will have to do to get this right won't look very much different from this one. And if I showed myself one after the other, I might not be able to instantaneously tell which was which, because the variations are so subtle. There might be a great difference in the way that I actually draw the thing, but it'll be subtle. But again, this is just a way of speaking about an object even simpler. Like if a tetrahedron is the simplest object in space and time, then this object, which I got wrong, is even simpler than the most simple object in existence conceivable. And I still got it wrong, using all of my mental capacity. That's a lot. 2014. Never mind that what I really want to get to is this guy. With my rotating, spinning disc, and get to all the ellipses that I was talking about and everything. Got all kinds of ellipse stuff. This looks like a footprint with a sock, which I really like. Got all kinds of ellipse stuff. Gotta get it. But I was working on this. I got it wrong. I even made out my other circles and pages. I might still be able to use this. I'm gonna have to get rid of this. But I might still be able to use these 3 pages. I'll have to erase some stuff here. Just get rid of this page maybe. Or maybe I could just erase stuff and still use this page, because it's a lot of work drawing lines. Or it seems like it. Probably not as much work as deer trying to eat bark in -10 degrees while trying not to get eaten or shot. But, I mean, can I compare it to that? Which is the greater geometry? Me doing this, or being a deer surviving in winter in an environment with predators, including humans with guns? That might be a better geometry. Kind of like jazz or ballet are better geometries. Maybe being a deer is a better geometry that incorporates the world. with a greater radius. All right, 2014 to now. Maybe a little bit before 2014. But just as some kind of, of the madness I've gone through. Okay, these were photocopies I got at the Staples. Of me trying to solve this problem. This is all related to one problem. This is what I did the other day. I showed it before. That got me on this path. But I really want to... Alright, yeah, some more colors. I like the colors. Yeah, trying to do this thing. Trying to work on something impossible. Say it's impossible. It's not impossible. I know it can be done. Just have to be logical enough to actually do it. Son of a bitch! Am I ever gonna get past these same pictures? Fuck. Alright. Finally. Trying to recognize shapes, trying to recognize things. This was early on. Hmm. See, is there anything good on this side? Son of a bitch. It's all the same shit. I'm trying to figure out one problem that I can't figure out. Can't figure it out. Can't figure it out. Can't figure it out. Spent a long time just doing all this stuff. It's all wrong. It's all wrong. What I did today was wrong. No. I did this one time. Now this doesn't look rational at all. This looks a little more rational. But it's a real question as to which one is. But we evolve. Not, I'm not trying to be like, but I'm just saying, like, I guess what I'm saying is that, like, I put a lot of work into what my betters have said is an impossible problem. And in some ways, I ebb and flow. On the spectrum of rationality, on the spectrum of insight. I ebb and flow. Comes and goes. I'm wrong. All of this is wrong. It's a lot of work of wrong. Everything is wrong. I just keep being wrong. 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 Son of a bitch. Wrong. Wrong. Wait, is this all the same shit? Wrong. 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 Where's some other wrong shit? Wrong. Wrong, but you all already knew that. Wrong. 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 Even this one, which was the predecessor to the one I'm doing now. I might actually want to get out of the light for this one. It's not bad worth keeping. Shit. Actually, this one's a little more right and has to do with what I'm trying to do lately. This one might not be wrong. Or it might be less wrong. But not the rightest thing in the world. Depends how you cut it up. I don't know. Somebody might like this someday. I don't know. Even a dumb shit like me might find something. Wrong, 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 wrong. But here I'm, but thinking about it. Good to think about it. There we go. And that has to do with that. So it's like I can't think about that without thinking about that, 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 without thinking about that. Man, I thought there was a good page here somewhere. I can't find it yet. Never know how these things are gonna go. Yeah, I was really trying to work it out there. And actually, I had there was like this prophet clairvoyant. I know you won't believe me, but maybe somebody will. Who told me this was so close to perfection. I almost had it. Well, I shouldn't even say I almost had it, but that it was so close. And I remember how I felt when I was making it. I was like, I think I got it. I think I got it. But I didn't. And in a sense, it weren't even close. That's why I had to resort to a sphere. You can't plane shit out. Maybe in a Riemannian sense, or maybe in like some other sense that's kind of like a Riemannian sense, but I don't think so. Because a sphere's here, and the Riemannian plane that tries to understand the sphere ends at infinity. And it's like, we just don't have enough time.